guys, how y'all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic and welcome back to the channel. And today for you guys, there's another review. Today we're tackling Knuckles, the Paramount Plus show that's also on Blu-ray and all that. So yeah, really good stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I don't live in this, but I I promise. I am doing this review after seeing Sonic 3. So you're gonna see this first before, but I saw Sonic 3 this morning, so it's a whole thing. Anyway, yeah. So the Knuckles show is a show that I have always kind of been wanting to see, but I never had Paramount Plus. So finally I got to watch it, and upon watching it for the first time, I'm like, you know, obviously Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 are great, and Sonic 3 is also freaking great. My review's coming out soon, but this is a franchise that I deeply care about, right? Like they clearly know what they're doing, right? Like I care about Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles just as much as the human characters, and that's again testament to the world building that Jeff Fowler and everyone's able to do, which is really great. But then the Knuckles show trailer dropped. I was like, oh, it looks fun, you know, Knuckles. I like Knuckles. He's kind of cool. And then the show dropped, and I was like, oh. Everyone hates this fun, and the main reasons, obviously, you probably know, but the big reasons are the show's called Knuckles, and it's barely about, okay, this is what the internet says, Twitter and Reddit. It's about Knuckles, it's called Knuckles, but it's not about Knuckles. He's barely in it. I get it, okay. We'll start with that. Maybe it should have been called Knuckles and Wade. I'm just saying, maybe, okay, it probably would have been better. But you think the trailer is, oh, Knuckles and he's fighting crime and Wade's there and all that, but I mean, this is really a kind of like a family drama, you know what I mean, in a weird way, with Knuckles in it. So, yeah, let's get it out of the way. Knuckles is the main character, okay? He's in the show. It's not like he dips at episode 1 and never returns, right? There are, I believe it's like episode 4 or something where he's barely in it, but there are episodes, especially a lot of moments that are focused on Knuckles, right? Like, he is the main character, but his sidekick, or the other main character, right, is of course Wade Whipple. And Wade's always been, you know, he's basically Patrick Star of Sonic, right? Like, he's an idiot, but he's a well-meaning idiot. I guess he's like Patrick and Jar Jar Binks, right? They're stupid, but they're smart when it counts, I guess, right? So Wade is fine. He's funny in Sonic 1 and 2, okay? He's fine, but he was never really a good character. He's just kind of like, you know, oh, he's the dumb cop. You know, that's what he was. And then Knuckles show came out, and they actually gave Wade an arc and a character, which made me go, oh, you know, by the end of the show, I'm like, oh shit, Knuckles is good, but Wade's also a really good character too. You know, I didn't expect that. So yeah, a lot of this is about Wade and his family. I mean, there's a literal effing episode, I think it's 3, devoted to him and his Jewish family eating dinner. Like, 90% of the episode is him eating dinner. And that sounds really fucking boring when I say that, but promise me it's not boring. If you are over the age of fetus and you have a working brain, which I guess half of Twitter and Reddit don't, yeah, I can understand how people can get kind of mad, right? Oh, it's called Knuckles, and I expected fight scenes and jokes and fight scenes, but that's like pretty much all anyone would want, you know what I mean? But what we ended up getting is that, like, we ended up getting good fight scenes, right? Like, some of the, I swear to God, in episode 3, there is a fight scene. I'm not even kidding. At the end of the Shabashka whatever dinner, it is the, I'm sitting there, I'm watching it with my mom and dad, I'm literally saying out loud, oh my God, holy crap. Like, this is one of the most well-directed action scenes I've seen in a while. I mean, it's in a kitchen, and the camera's spinning around, it's like 360, and the mom, you know, everyone, you know, they're obviously fighting human bad guys, but Knuckles is there too, and he's kind of trying not to blow out these 2 candles and all that in their little family tradition. It's like a genuinely really good fight scene, and I'm like, oh wow, you know, that's crazy. But yeah, it was great. And obviously Wade is a character in this that, by the start, I was like, oh, dumb cop. And then by the end, I was like, dumb cop, but now I care about him, and I actually like this character more, right? Like, we get to see Wade and, you know, why he kind of values himself as kind of a loser, and you get Knuckles, who is, you know, pretty much done. You know, he basically guarded the Master Emerald, and he's like, oh, well, there's nothing else I can do. And then he kind of, you know, him and Wade kind of meet, and they're like, oh, cool, you know, we're gonna go on this adventure, right? Like, what do I have to do for you, Wade, and what kind of quest is there, you know, heroic quest? And Wade is like, oh, bowling, right? Like, him and his dad used to bowl, and his dad abandoned him at a TJ Maxx. Relatable? No, I'm kidding. But with that, you know, you actually see, you know, backstory for Wade, and he's not just the dumb policeman anymore. You know, he actually has a motive, and he has a life, and he has character and motivation and a reason to live in this franchise, other than tell jokes and be dumb. And I appreciated that, you know what I mean? Obviously, yeah, I'm in this for Knuckles. I'm not in it for Wade. But the fact that they're, like Sonic 1 and 2, able to make me care about the colorful CGI creatures, but also the humans, is insane. I swear to God, the humans in the Sonic franchise are more well developed than the Monsterverse. I love the Monsterverse. I love it. But, you know, it's the same kind of critique, right? Like with Godzilla 1. Oh, I don't want to see humans. I want to see Godzilla fight. But if you were to just have that, again, I think I said this in Sonic 2, you would just have two action figures mushing together for 2 hours. Now, you can do that all you want in your bedroom. You can do that all you want in your family room and do this with the toys. But I don't have toys, but you know what I'm saying, they're over there. But yeah, like, there's no substance to that, right? And with this show, they're able to kind of build on that and make me actually care about Wade as a character. I'll admit it, some of the pacing is a bit wonky. You know, maybe the dinner lasted a little bit more than it should. Maybe Wade and his sister Wanda or Shalonda or whatever could have, you know, maybe not bickered as much. I think she's funny. I think, you know, his sister's funny, his mom's funny. But then you get to the whole dad part, and he actually ends up meeting his dad, right? And it's like, oh, this is his hero, right? He used to bowl with him as a kid, and they had a lot of family moments, and he kind of feels betrayed. And, you know, little by little, Knuckles is able to kind of see not only, you know, the Sonic family with Tom and Maddie, but also, you know, Wade and his family, and kind of see the different traditions of Earth, and how people are like, you know, a tribe, like how he kind of words it. And, you know, they're through Knuckles' perspective, they're able to kind of see, you know, what's actually going on other than just what he's exposed to with Sonic 2, right? Like, Knuckles is able to kind of expand his worldview and see that, you know, people have different values and cultures and beliefs and all that. And it's not some kind of woke thing, but it really is interesting that Knuckles is able to kind of spend time with Wade and figure out, you know, why this bowling quest is so important. And yeah, I mean, episode 3 is the dinner, which I really didn't mind that episode. I thought it was good because we got to, again, you know, see the backstory and see these characters' motivations and all that. Episode 4 is pretty much the one where he's like in a cage and there's like the whole Patrick O'Mac thing with Christopher Lloyd being like, Marty! You know, and then you've also got the dance number. Now, look, it's fun and it's funny. I'm not a fan of rock opera, but it's well made enough and it's funny. And in Wade's sparked out bard, when he's hitting the thing and he's on the floor and all that, this is his version of that, right? So everyone's version is different. This is Wade's version. And yeah, it's funny, right? Children will be laughing. I was laughing. But it's not there just to make the toddlers that are watching, which shouldn't be watching. This is surprisingly, I think one of the episodes, or a few of them, were rated TV-16. There's actually a lot of, like, adult jokes in this, which I get it, right? Sonic is for adults just as it is for kids. It's for everyone. But, I mean, they're saying hell, damn, crap, piss, freaking, oh, look at the balls on that guy. And I'm like, holy shit, like, these guys, they're not messing around. Like, get the hell out of here, damn, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of cursing, and it's not the F word or anything, but it's still cursing, and I just didn't expect that. So, I mean, I don't want to say it's cool, but I don't know, I appreciated that they weren't dumbing anything down. Because there's a lot of, like, family drama in this, you know, it's crazy. Like, there's a lot of, like, heart-to-heart, like, slow burn moments with his mom and him, or, you know, his dad and him even, and by the time you get to this big bowling thing, you feel like you went on this journey with Wade, and he kind of, maybe not grew to, like, a superhero status, but he did grow as a character throughout this, you know, series. Knuckles was able to kind of course, help him along the way and help him train, and of course, you know, Knuckles is still fighting the gun agents. I believe his name is the Buyer. Spoilers, if you haven't seen the show. He is not in Sonic 3, I'll say that. Let's just get that out of the way. But I think that I don't remember the names. It's the black guy and the white lady with the cute white lady. I don't know, maybe I'm weird, but I don't know, she's kind of pretty. She has like some weird haircut or whatever. Like the henchmen people working for Gunn. They're formidable villains, you know what I mean? I think they're pretty good. There's some really good action, especially in episode 1, where it's kind of filmed like a Star Wars fight scene. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff in here. So yeah, I was expecting to hate it, you know, because I heard, oh, Knuckles is barely in it. No, it's really boring. No, it's the Wade show. And I'm like, oh, that sounds like crap. But after watching it, again, using my brain, I was like, oh, this is the reason why Wade's in the show. This is the reason why Knuckles isn't in this part, right? Oh, Knuckles isn't there because he wants Wade to figure it out for himself, type thing, right? Like, they even say that. So I don't know why that's a critique, because that's what Knuckles would do. giving Wade time to figure things out by himself and become a warrior, right? That's his whole freaking agenda. I get it. Some people just wanted Knuckles maybe to go on his own separate adventure and just focus on him and less on Wade. But I feel like focusing on the human characters as well as the animated characters, that's what this franchise is. That's what it's all about. You know what I mean? It's about making me care about the humans and the hedgehogs and the echidnas and the foxes and the whatevers. You know, I think that's really, really cool. And yeah, again, you know, I'll admit there's one or two jokes that kind of went on a little bit too long. There's you know, a few moments where I feel it could have lasted a little less, right, with the whole dance thing and all that. But I didn't have really, like, you know, a huge problem with it. I thought it worked. I think that Wade is, I don't think he's anyone's favorite character, but I think they were able to take a dumb cop character who's just like, oh, I'm stupid, I don't know what to do. I need to get a girl over here at some point. Sounds like a snake. And all of a sudden they turned him into a character that, yeah, maybe not the strongest character in the world, but a hell of a lot better of a character than he was, you know, if you didn't get this. So I think Knuckles and him make a good team. The Warriors, right, pretty good stuff. And obviously this supposedly was supposed to lead into Sonic 3. I'm not going to ruin it, but they do mention the events of the show at least once, which is nice. This is not like a Cars 2 scenario where it goes Cars 1 and 3 and they don't even mention Finn or Holly or Professor Z, right? So that type of thing. So I'm glad that they do at least acknowledge the show's existence, which is nice, you know, because it's a very well-made show. I mean, the CGI is great, the writing is great. You know, I truly ended up caring for these characters. You know, there's a few cringy moments or a few moments with the you know, dancing or stuff that goes on a little bit too long, but none of it got to a point where I wanted to turn it off or stop talking about it or stop watching or check my phone. Or, you know, I mean, I was always invested, which is nice. So yeah, I mean, I think the first TV show within the Sonic the Hedgehog movie franchise is, I think it's a freaking banger, man. I really enjoyed it. You know, I'm not going to obviously go through every single episode, but as a whole, I thought the 6 were pretty good. And by the end, with the whole bowling tournament, you know, how that kind of also coincides with the Buyer and Knuckles' plot, right? They kind of coincide, which that needed to happen, right? Like, if the finale of this show is just bowling, that wouldn't have worked. You need to have Wade's arc, bowling, and Knuckles' arc, Gun and the Buyer, kind of collide, right? And that's exactly what happened. So I'm very grateful they did that, and they didn't do something stupid or oh, let's just have a, like, I don't want to feel like I'm watching ESPN as a final episode in effing Sonic. You know what I mean? I like sports. I do bowl myself. Not a lot, but I do it occasionally. I like bowling. I like sports, but I'm watching a show called Knuckles, and I don't want this just to be, oh my god, look at the bowling, you know. And I get it, they make jokes and all that. I'm not stupid, but yeah, I am very glad that Knuckles, you know, showed up and kind of did some fun stuff at the end of the day, because without that, it wouldn't really have made much sense. But yeah, I think, again, it was really cool to get a little cameo from Sonic, Tails, and Maddie in the first episode, and just kind of building on Knuckles and giving him a character arc of what do I do now that my master quest has been fulfilled. And then, of course, Wade, you know, kind of dealing with his childhood trauma with his father and kind of rekindling a relationship with his mom and sister, while also being, you know, epic and fighting off gun agents. I mean, it's a pretty good pair, I think. You know what I mean? And by the end of it, I really felt like these two were pretty good friends. And I think, you know, Knuckles could call himself, or could call the Whipple family a, you know, another kind of second family after Tom and Maddie, you know what I mean? So I think that's pretty cool. At the end of the day, you know, would I change a few things? Yeah, you know what I mean? Some of the stuff lasts a little bit too long, but over than that, I think that it is a decently paced, fun show, really great action, good CGI, funny moments, a lot of adult things, which I like, you know what I mean, because I am an adult, so I'm glad they didn't, none of the Sonic stuff has ever been dumbed down for a preschool audience, because that's never been the audience, but they've also never targeted specifically adults, so I'm glad that they were able to kind of, you know, make both, you know, both older kids and teens and adults, everyone happy, which is great. So yeah, man, I mean, I really enjoyed this show. I think it's really fun. It's not my favorite show of the year or nothing, but I mean, it's definitely a heck of a lot better than what I thought it was going to be, because, you know, I heard, oh, Wade's in it more, Knuckles is in like 5 seconds of the whole show, he doesn't do anything, it's really boring, and it's just about Hanukkah or whatever, and I'm like, this sounds awful, and then I'm actually watching it, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, again, I was able to go, oh yeah, cool, okay, you know, I understand, you know, it's cool that we're making Wade a more likable character, and we're seeing his family, and we're seeing, you know, this character's goals, and his sister's goals, and his mom's goals, and his dad, and, you know, there's a lot of really good stuff in there, again, with the action, with the Knuckles side as well, so I think they were able to balance that quite well. Not a perfect show, but overall, from rating from a 0 to a 10, I don't know, man, I'd probably give it probably a 9. I mean, you know what I mean, like, it was good, like, it was very good. I had a I had medium to low expectations, and I'll say that they were met. And by the end, you know, one or two cringy moments, one or two moments I would have cut or shortened a little bit. I think that it's genuinely a really fun show. Great lore, great, you know, additions to Wade and his family and all that. And it is a shame he's not in Sonic 3 more. I'm not going to say any more about that, but I kind of wish he was in a little bit more. But I do think that, you know, with this show, really what they're doing is they're world building, and they're making the audience care about this world even more. I already cared with Sonic 1 and 2, but having this show and fleshing out more of Knuckles' backstory and more about him and his goals and Wade and all that and everything is the most consistently well-made video game to film adaptation, and I think they're nailing it with every single step for the most part. And just wait, man. Just wait until you see my Sonic 3 review. And Sonic 3 is out now as well. The time of posting this is December 21st. So please do yourself a favor, go to theaters, watch Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and just, you know, please support it because it's a great film. You'll have to watch my review and see why. Maybe one or two things I didn't quite like, but I think it's a really great time, and I think you should support it in theaters. Yeah, man, I love Knuckles. I think it's really good. He's good in Sonic 3 as well. We'll get into that in the next review, but yeah, as his own show goes, it was pretty fun and a lot better than what I expected. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.